On a dusty shelf in the corner of a small antique store that no one seemed to notice sat an ordinary-looking teddy bear. Softly worn, with patches on its fur and button eyes that seemed barely clinging to its frazzled threads, the bear was just an old toy, or so everyone thought. It wasn't meant to grab attention, and in truth, it never really did. Shoppers would glance at it briefly while searching for ceramic vases or vintage clocks, then move on without a second look. But sometimes, every so often, someone would get the peculiar urge to pick it up. When they did, their world changed forever. Please adapt this chapter as is. That's exactly what happened to Ellie Marshall one rainy afternoon. She wasn't at the antique store for anything special. Strolling through the aisles, her umbrella dripping onto the floor, Ellie was killing time before meeting her friend at the cafe next door. Her eyes rested briefly on the bear while her mind wandered until something strange happened. It felt like the bear was looking back at her, not with malice nor warmth, but an unspoken pull. Before she realized it, Ellie's fingers were wrapping around its arm. Its plush texture felt comforting in a way toys shouldn't feel comforting to a grown adult. But instead of a sense of nostalgia or silliness, Ellie felt something entirely different. Dizzy. It came without warning. The walls of the antique store warped. The rain outside sounded muted, distant, like it was being sucked away into something far away from her. Ellie squeezed her eyes shut, but when she opened them again, everything was silent. The shelves were still there, but their wood was newly polished instead of aged and cracked. The room was bright, lit by sunshine instead of flickering fluorescent bulbs, and the antique store itself had vanished. It wasn't there at all anymore. Instead, Ellie was standing in what appeared to be a bustling train station. A train station that definitely shouldn't be built in the small town Ellie had been familiar with her entire life. The teddy bear was still in her hands, strangely warm as though it had suddenly come alive. Panicked, she whirled around. "What? Where am I?" Ellie asked the air, her heart pounding. And yet she got an answer. Please adapt this chapter as is. Please adapt this chapter as is. Not from a person, but from the bear itself. Its voice was neither childlike nor magical. It was ancient, like distant whispers of leaves blowing in a forest. "You have been chosen," it said quietly. Ellie nearly dropped it. "Chosen? For what?" she demanded. The bear tilted its subtly bobbing head toward her hand, where she was still clutching it. "The past," it murmured simply. "Pieces of time that need to be seen before they drift away." Ellie stared at the teddy bear, unwilling to believe that an inanimate object was talking to her. Yet, when she glanced around again, something else felt deeply real. The sights and sounds moving through the train station. She hadn't been imagining those. Every sound, every movement seemed alive. People bustled past her, carrying suitcases and wearing thick coats, steam puffed from locomotive engines. The fashion was unmistakably old, 1920s maybe, and yet as much as Ellie wanted to believe she was dreaming, everything seemed too vivid. Nearby, a boy no older than 10 sat on a bench, swinging his legs. He wasn't looking at anyone. Not his mother, who carried 2 heavy cases as she argued with a helpful stranger. Not the conductor announcing arrivals of the train from Chicago. He stared instead at a torn letter in his pocket, his small fingers clutching the edge like it alone was his lifeline. Something about him stopped Ellie cold. She didn't know why. What am I supposed to do now?" she asked the bear shakily. "You watch," it replied, its voice haunting. "It begins here." Moments passed, and Ellie did exactly that, her grip around the strange toy tight. Each shift in the boy's life revealed another truth Ellie hadn't been prepared for, or rather, truths everyone needed to see. He worked himself to exhaustion trying to build a home where his mother could live again. He handed savings to strangers who'd lost everything before war came marching through the nation's fields. And he changed lives, not out of glory, but because he chose kindness. Ellie could barely speak anymore. All she could feel was the weight of the teddy bear itself, now somehow guiding her with an unspoken purpose. "He is meant to be remembered, isn't he?" she said softly. "All of this," the bear almost seemed to sigh. "He is one of many. You were chosen to understand his story." When Ellie finally returned, waking back into the rain-soaked streets of her modern world, she gasped for air like someone emerging from underwater. She clutched the teddy bear close to her chest and looked down, tears in her eyes, as she whispered, "You guide people, every one of you, don't you?" But the bear didn't answer that time. Its silence was louder than speech.